up, Chris Wickerman?
Just sitting here in El Conde restaurant, waiting for the Beck show to start. Won tickets from 1019 RXP, and can't wait. Super psyched. Super psyched to meet Beck.
What's up there? Beck and RXP. I'm Ryan. I'm the actual winner. The guy with me is just some loser I found on the street. Just kidding. We're at the El Conde restaurant across from the theater, sipping on an El Presidente, getting a steak sandwich, and can't wait to meet Beck. Although the camera's only half charged, so we're hoping it'll last.
You're at 175th Street and Broadway in Harlem. How cool is it up here?
Let me tell you something about Harlem. Harlem is where Beck should play. I mean, you got La Rosa across the way. Before Beck's bus came up, there was a whole bunch of guys talking about Guero and the cassette tapes and just chanting. So I'm pretty sure this is where Beck recorded Guero. This is where it's at. Beck's here. He's got 2 turntables and he's got a microphone. And Harlem welcomes him. Dude, what are you so psyched to see about Beck?
I hope you hear something from Sea Change. I hope you hear something from Guero. I hope you hear something from Information. And of course, Modern Guild. I'd like to hear Replica off Modern Guild. I love that song.
We have our friends from Queens over here. What are your names again? Heidi.
I'm Jean. Nice to meet you.
Jean. Big fans. They're big fans. They run on.
Yes.
And they're gonna get to be able to eat Beck's bologna, I believe, once he's done.
So excited.
And they might be able to like smell like the tissues that he blows his nose in, which is a good thing. I mean, they're very excited about it. Let's cut back to Pat O'Brien, who's covering the Beck concert.
Hey, how you doing? This is Pat O'Brien outside of Harlem. Beck hats had just pulled up, and Mr. Guero is going to give us some information. I got to tell you, it's getting late, and there's a bunch of midnight vultures hanging out, so have a good time. There's Beck. I'm Pat O'Brien signing off.
1, 2, 3, 4. I met you at JCPenney. I think your name tag said Gina. I cold step to you with a fresh pack of gum. We're enormous fans since Mellow Gold. Midnight Vultures is my all-time favorite.
Oh, wow.
And when my wife was pregnant, Sea Change was played in her belly for our daughter for the entire conception because we wanted her to read it up.
Right.
So it's just an honor to be here.
We you too.
Absolutely. Alright, so the first question is from Chris is on Guero. You have all the Mexican men. How does that happen? Like, do you recruit them and give them a script, or is it kind of free form?
Do you bring them into the studio to do that? How did you record them?
How does that happen?
That was one of my friends, Paulo.
Okay.
This is someone I've known for years. And
But the questions they ask you, what's that about the
the new Yanni cassette?
Yeah.
Like, is
You're
that
doing
all
push-ups?
form? Is that just the?
I was just kind of feeding things to him. Yeah, I was just giving him things to say. It started out with I wanted to recreate what it was like. Actually, some of the recordings on that song were. I went back to my old neighborhood where I grew up and just stood on the street and recorded. So some of the voices are just people on the street.
Random in the street.
And then I wanted to I got my friend Paulo to come in, and he. I just had him yell things that I would hear a lot, you know, growing up, and then it got a little bit more absurd as the night wore on, and then it got into like.
So
I got you.
Please, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Let me get you on there.
were you coaching him as
yeah,
you were saying?
I was giving
Like,
him things to.
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
There's a lot of outtakes that there were too many to fit in the song.
I'm sure you hear this a lot, but him and I feel like you were somebody we grew up with and are asking. Like the things you have in your CD, like for me, Midnight Vultures, when you have all, you know, when you, it's like, say what, be my girl. Like, how does that happen? Is that producer based? Is that just you in a room just being like, dude, we have to add this? Like, all the nuances that you have to your songs, to me, are what make Beck songs amazing. It's all the silly little side notes. Like, how does that occur? How does that happen?
It's it's just all. Most of the time I don't write the songs ahead of time, so I'm just in there,
just doing it
around, and then I do a lot more than ends up on the song.
Yeah.
Usually I just do it. And then
And just layers and layers and layers.
There's a few things that we end up keeping in there. You know, like I mean, if you went back to the session for where it's at, there's probably 20 ideas, 20 versions of that chorus. You know, different melodies, different inflections.
When are we gonna get to hear
sounds.
that?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably lost somewhere, but the one that's on the record just happens to be the one that at that point we just felt like was the good.
I want to get Chris in here just because he's
How
like.
do you feel about MCs right now? I mean, you started out with like Loser and Mellow Gold and everything. I mean, you were basically MCing over some of those tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about the state of hip hop right now?
I don't know. I feel a little disconnected. I mean, there's things that I do like, you know, probably more underground things. We toured with a band a couple years ago called Spank Rock.
Yeah.
And I like them. And I like Dizzy Rascal's first record. You know, so here and there there's a few things, but I mean, there's not a whole lot that I've found interesting in the last 10 years.
Agreed.
How about acoustic? Another acoustic album coming?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I have piles of those songs.
To me, that's.
I mean, I have more than I know what to do with. Really, you know.
Well, if you could play No One's Fault But My Own, it would make my life complete. But
yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, this is our last show
Netflix
that's
over there.
So, we were watching this documentary on the song poem. They used to have these ads in the 60s and 70s in magazines where you send your lyrics in, and they'll turn it into a hit song, and they take a 7-inch of it.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I used to know guys who used to collect these weird songs, and you just got random people sending in really bizarre shit, you know. And so yeah, someone did a documentary on the whole phenomenon.
We gotta get out, but I think.
That's it. United Palace Theater, Harlem, New York City, October 10th. Beck.